Hi, today we're going to look at loan payments, credit cards, and mortgages. Loan basics. The principal is the amount of money owed at any particular time. An installment loan or amortized, it's hard to say for me for some reason, is a loan that is paid off with equal regular payments. The loan term is the time you have to pay back the loan in full. So here is the very long formula for loan payments. You can find the payment, PMT, by doing the principal times the annual percentage rate divided by N, and all that divided by all of 1 minus 1 plus APR divided by N to the negative NY. And you have to be very, very careful with your order of operations here. The portions of an installment loan payments going towards principal and interest vary as the loan is paid down. So in the beginning of the loan, you're paying mostly on interest. And towards the end, you're paying more towards principal. Suppose you have student loans totaling $7,500 when you graduate from college. The interest rate is 9%, and the loan term is 10 years. What are your monthly payments? How much will you pay over the lifetime of the loan? And what is the total interest you will pay on the loan? Okay, so the first thing we want to do is find the payment. I'm going to go on to the next page. And we're using that long formula. Okay. So, the principal, the initial amount was $7,500. APR is 9%, so 0.09. You're making monthly payments, so N is 12. Then we have 1 minus 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12 again, to the negative N, which is 12, times the number of years, 10 years. You probably say, why do we have 1 minus 1? Well, it's because of order of operations. That's not going to cancel out. Okay, so the first thing we can do is divide 0.09 by 12. So we'll have 7,500 divided by 0.0075. On the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and add that number to 1, so it'll be 1.0075, and negative 12 times 10 is negative 120. Now again, realize that you can't take 1 minus 1.0075 because of order of operations. You have to do the exponents first. We'll move things around here a bit. Okay, so let's put this in the calculator. 7,500 times 0.0075 gets you 56.25. And then on the bottom, 1.0075 to the negative 120 is 0.407937305. And we have to subtract that from 1, not the other way around. So 1 minus that number. And so on the bottom we have 0.592062695. So divide 56.25 by that number. Makes graphing calculator really convenient. and we get 95.01. $95.01. That's the monthly payment. Okay, it also asks us how much will you pay over the lifetime of the loan? So the total payment would be, you're paying $95.01 each month, so times 12, for 10 years, so times 10. Wrong color. That's $11,401.20. Hard to believe that $7,500 became that. That's what happened to my loan that I took out for one semester of graduate school at Appalachian. Yuck. So how much is your interest then? Take those total payments and subtract off your initial amount, $7,500. So you're paying $3,901.20 in interest. Hi, Finnick. That's Finnick saying hello. Okay. The table of the first 3 months for a student loan looks something like this. You can see you're paying more towards interest than you are towards the principal. And every month you're paying just a little bit less for interest, and every month you're paying just a little bit more for the principal. Credit cards differ from installment loans in that you're not required to pay off your balance in any set period of time. You're still required to pay a minimum monthly payment, but if you only pay that minimum monthly payment and you continue to buy stuff, you never get rid of the credit card unless you file bankruptcy. You don't want to do that. A monthly payment generally covers all the interest, but very little principal. And it takes a very long time to pay off a credit card if you only pay the minimum payments. And you never pay it off if you keep buying. So, suppose you have a credit card balance of $2,300 with an annual interest rate of 21%. You decide to pay off your balance in 1 year. So you're not buying anymore and you want to pay it off in a year. How much do you need to pay each month? So we're going to use that same formula to find the payment. Because we're not just paying the minimum payment, we're seeing how much to pay it off in a year. Okay? So we plug in, our principal amount is $2,300. The annual rate, 0.21, 12 times per year, 1 minus, 1 plus, 0.21 divided by 12 to the negative 12, times, how many years? 1 year. Reduce that a little bit. On the top, you get 40.25. On the bottom, 1 minus 1.0175 to the negative 12. Again, be careful how you put this in your calculator. I'm not going to go through it again. We just did it in example 1. Make sure you go by order of operations. You should end up with $214.16 is how much you have to pay per month for a year to pay it off. A home mortgage is an installment loan specifically designed to finance a home. The down payment is the amount of money you must pay up front in order to be given a mortgage or other loan. Closing costs are the fees you must pay in order to be given the loan. These include direct fees like the appraisal and credit check, and fees charged as points, where each point is 1% of the loan amount. Sometimes these are called an origination fee, or I don't know why they're called discount points, because this is not a discount, but yeah. A fixed rate mortgage is one in which the interest rate is guaranteed not to change over the life of the loan. An adjustable rate can change. So it's better to get a fixed rate mortgage if you can. Sometimes that's not an option. Like I'm getting ready to build a tiny house, actually. And I can get an APR, but I can't get a fixed rate. But in 5 years, I could refinance for a fixed rate if I wanted to. So, example 3 says, Great Bank offers a $100,000 30-year 5% fixed rate loan with closing cost of $500 plus 1 point. Big Bank offers a lower rate of 4.75% on a 30-year loan, but with Great Bank closing cost of $1,000 plus 2 points. Evaluate the two outcomes. So let's look at Great Bank first. Okay, so Great Bank, we're going to figure out our payment. That'll be the principal, what's $100,000, times the APR, 0.05, divided by 12, all divided by 1 minus 1, plus 0.05 divided by 12 to the negative n times y 30 years. By the way, you guys do not have to memorize these formulas. When you're taking your test, feel free to look up the formula. In fact, I'll probably provide fact sheets for you to just be able to glance back. Otherwise, you can look in your notes. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the process again. I just did it in the last 2 examples, so I'm just going to give you the answer here for time's sake. Your payment would be $536.82. Let's see. I'm going to take this to the next page. Okay, then we're going to go over here and look at Big Bank. So the payment for Big Bank would be $100,000 times, the interest rate is 4.575%, so 0.0475 divided by 12, all divided by 1 minus 1 plus 0.0475 divided by 12 to the negative 12 divided by 30. So all we've changed so far is the interest rate. And your payment ends up being $521.65. Sounds like that's better, right? But then we've got all these closing costs and all. So with Great Bank, you've got a closing cost of $500 plus 1 point. 1 point is 1% of the amount of the loan. So 0.01 times 100,000. That's $1,500 that you have to put down. For Big Bank, you have $1,000 plus 2 points, so 0.02 times $100,000. That is $3,000 that you have to put down. To put this in perspective, of course, you're not going to be paying the closing cost over the loan, you'll be paying it up front. But to try to compare the two, we're going to change it to as if we were paying it over month by month, so we can compare apples to apples. So I need to take $1,500 and divide by the number of payments. That's 30 years, 12 months, 30 years. 12 times 30. So $417 is what you would pay per month if you were paying the closing costs over a month. So add that to your monthly payment, and you get $540.99 is what you'd pay per month. So looking at this other one, we'll take $3,000, divide by 30 times 12, and we get $833. Add that to your monthly payment. And so your monthly payment would be $529.98. So it still looks like that is the better option. So you're going to go with Big Bank. Here's just a little graph showing you the relationship between interest and principal. You can see at the beginning, the blue, you're paying more interest. Towards the end, you're paying more towards the principal. And our last example says you have a choice between a 30-year fixed rate loan at 4% and an adjustable rate mortgage with a first-year rate of 3%. Neglecting compounded and changes in principal, estimate your monthly savings with the ARM during the first year on $100,000 loans. Then, suppose that the ARM raises to 5% by the third year. How will your payments be affected? Okay, so a 4% fixed rate loan, you're going to gain interest of 4% for the first year. We don't have to use the big lump formula because we're just talking about 1 year. So $4,000 for the first year. On the 3%, your interest would be 3% of $100,000 or $3,000 for the first year. So for the first year with the ARM, you're paying $1,000 less for the first, okay? Well, you're paying $1,000 less for the year, so that would be divide that by 12, you're saving $83 per month. But it says that it changes to a 5% ARM in 3 years, which means that third year, you're paying $5,000 in interest, which is $1,000 more than the fixed rate. So you're paying $83 a month more now. That's why you have to be careful with adjustable rate mortgages. Okay, and that's the end of our section here. We've just got one more in this chapter.